Yo, it's Mac from the Everyday Nobody's Podcast. I know you see the title, so let's get straight to it. Marc Lamont Hill is about to snap, and I'm here for it. See, I'm starting to notice Marc is getting a little more relaxed, and he's starting to actually reveal who he actually is. So those pander comments are starting to get under his skin, because a lot of people call Marc a panderer because it seems like he plays to his audience instead of actually telling how he really feels about a lot of topics. The only difference now is people are starting to get to know him, so they're calling him out on it. In a lot of cases, they're just saying, hey, you're full of shit. If I know one thing's for sure and two things for certain, Marc is going to make sure that he panders towards women. And I actually think that's cool, because the Joe Budden Podcast is it can be misogynistic. It is heavily male. So it is from a specific viewpoint. So having Marc on there to speak for women when male can't, I'm not against that. I think it's good. I think it creates good dialogue. It's actually really good for the show. The only problem is sometimes he goes out of his way to make a point, and then you find out he doesn't really believe that. He just knows that this is what his audience wants to hear. And that's when it's like, okay, this is disingenuous. Just last week, he almost literally had a meltdown because he got called a panderer.
Play politically correct.
Pander to who? Is this two people in there? That's not what pandering means. I'm just saying, I want to do what I think is right, even if I think that it is a popular opinion.
Yo, dog, that's pandering. You going.
I want to do what is right, even if it's popular. Did you say I want to do what's right?
You're screaming for no reason.
So on episode 831, they were talking about Vanessa Bryant and all the backlash that she was receiving after being perceived to have moved on after being widowed for 5 years from the late, great Kobe Bryant. So the idea of her moving on pissed a lot of people off. So then everything advanced. Then they went forward. They're like, okay, well, is there anyone that you wouldn't want your wife to date after you're gone, whether you died or whether you moved on? Now that was kind of split down the center. You had Flip and Ice and kind of Parks too. They're like, my wife can date who she wants, just don't let it be my friends. And then Parks was like, actually it could be my friends as long as it was somebody cool. One of my good friends, none of my crazy friends, because Parks and Ish both feel like, well, if I'm dead, and Joe, if I'm dead, why does it matter who she dates? Because, you love her so much, you just want to make sure that she's happy. But where Flip, Ice, and part of Parks feels is wrong, it's because, okay, if I die and you go and date my friends, that means at some point you're probably looking at them some type of way. You probably wanted them at some point. The only thing that was stopping you was the fact that I was alive. So yeah, you will be dead, so you won't know that it's happening because you're in the grave, but it's still distasteful. It still comes off as weird because there's now thoughts that, you apparently been looking at my friend a type of way. So yeah, that's where it was. Now Marc, he could have just said yay or nay. Do you know what Marc said? Instead of just saying, no, I wouldn't be okay with my wife dating one of my friends if I died or if we broke up, he said,
well, because I'm fascinated by these rules. Because even Parks got a rule. You're like you're okay with it as long as you're dead.
If I'm dead, have a blast.
But if you're alive, you didn't know she can't.
No,
we got all these rules about what women can do with their bodies. No, I got rules. Listen,
you would not.
Listen to what I'm saying.
We will not let you.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You said she can.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Like, this isn't even a gender war question because Mel is here. Like, everybody in the room was meant to give an answer. It wasn't just about whether, a man wanted his wife to be with her. The bottom line is, for some people, this is an uncomfortable thought that you would mess with my friend after I'm dead. And for others, it's a very comfortable thought. The idea that you should be happy no matter who it's with because we're dead anyway. Marc definitely had to take it to the next level and prove that he can make any situation a pander situation. Eventually, he does admit that, yeah, he's not comfortable with his wife dating any of her friends. But then he'll say, but I just feel like it's wrong to give her stipulations. And Joe was like, Well, why do you act like you're floating above everybody when we have these conversations? Because deep inside, you really do feel the exact same way that we do, but you'll get in front of these cameras and say something completely different.
This is what we're saying to you. Why you always speak like you done found some epiphany while also admitting that you're guilty of the same shit? You know what time it is.
Because
so
it's
why
called
do
self-awareness.
They almost left the topic, and Ice was like, nah, let's bring it back.
I mean,
I want to go back to why you won't tell her the list, though.
Because I don't think I'm right. I think I'm being selfish.
She's asking you a question.
Yes, and I'm saying I don't think it's a reasonable ask, even if she does. I disagree. I'm saying I have a list, but I don't think I'm right.
So you'd rather lie to her?
Yeah, freeze.
No, you rather pander and play politically correct.
Pander to who? Is this two people in there? That's not what pandering means. I'm just saying I want to do what I think is right, even if I think that it is a popular opinion.
Yo, dog, that's pandering. You going.
I want to do what is right, even if it's popular. Did you say I want to do what's right?
You're screaming for no reason.
I apologize. Listen to what I'm saying. No, that's not pandering. No, hold on. I said if doing what you think is right is not pandering.
You're lying.
No, I said
you are lying to your wife. She asked you a direct question.
You're saying what you think
is right. You gave a politically correct response as opposed to telling what you really feel.
Listen to what I just said.
That's not a lie, Mark.
You said I have a list, and I'm telling her no, there's no list.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Tell her my list.
Now let me tell you what I actually said.
Oh, y'all got
She asked me.
got him on the ropes.
She asked me. If you just let me talk, you hear what I'm saying. She said, "Who is off limits?" Not who do you want to be off limits. Who is?
Ish and Ice are both like, well, you had something in your head that you wanted to say, but you said what you thought she wanted to hear, which means you willfully withheld information, which is a lie. So you are lying. And you lied not because it's the right thing to do. You lied because you felt like that's what your wife would want, or that would be the right answer, which it means it's pandering. It means you don't really feel this way, but you're saying whatever you think your audience would perceive as right. That is pandering. Mark went around and around. He started yelling. Ish was like, yo, calm down. I'm right here. You don't got to yell. He just went around and around and around trying to change the definition of what pander means. Then he was like, okay, that's not what I meant. Maybe I said it wrong. It's like, no. You said it right. You finally told the truth. It's just your truth didn't coincide with what your audience believes. So now you look stupid. That's just what it comes down to. And that's the only thing, like the only real chink in the armor that I can see with Mark, where it just seems like he knows who his audience is and he will super serve them even if he doesn't really believe the stuff he's saying. Now, a lot of times I do think he's really moving with righteous intention, but there's some times where it's like you're super disingenuous. And Queen's Flip, he even said it.
Okay, so here's my thing. If he believes it, then it can't be pandering, because pandering is literally saying something that you don't believe in just to satisfy somebody else.
No, true, but at the same time, he knows that sometimes women do bullshit, but he won't say they do bullshit. That's the pandering part. He would acknowledge like, yo, that's a bullshit, but he won't say it. He won't go on the camera and say he doesn't. That's why I say, yo, you pandering to them, because you know what's some. If you ask him a question,
and he was like, look, Mark is my man, but he's not the same guy behind the scenes that he is here. Flip and Mark talked about it. He was like, yeah, we've had the conversation. He knows who his audience is. So he literally does this on purpose. It's just, as the audience, we will never know when he's really being genuine, except for times like this where he gets tripped up and he gets called out for it. But what do I know? I'm just an everyday nobody. Tell me what you think. Do you think that every time Mark jumps out the window for a certain community that he's being honest? Or is he just a person who understands his analytics, who knows his audience, his demographics, and he's a panderer? He's the pander bear. Tell me what you think in the comments, like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.